extend our sincere gratitude to the Ministry of Finance and Development Partners Group, representing some 30+ esteemed organizations active in Ethiopia, for their invaluable collaboration in jointly organizing this significant forum alongside the Ethiopian Investment Commission. We are honored to welcome delegates and investors from 59 countries in this room today. We recognize that many of our prospective investors have traveled long distances, thousands of kilometers, to be with us today, demonstrating a profound interest in Ethiopia's promising future. I assure you that you have chosen not only the right country, but also a most opportune time to explore investment opportunities here in Ethiopia. Excellencies, invited guests, Ethiopia stands as a nation of immense potential for foreign direct investment. Strategically located in the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia offers investors access to a vast market of over 3 billion people within an 8-hour flight radius. With more than 130 million population, from which around 59 million is part of the workforce, Ethiopia also presents both a substantial domestic market and a significant source of dynamic and readily available talent. Moreover, as signatory to the African Continental Free Trade Area and a member of COMESA, Ethiopia serves as a vital gateway to the broader African market. Ethiopia also offers a competitive edge with access to both affordable and clean energy resources. You have also arrived at a transformative point in time in Ethiopia's economic journey. Over the past 6 years, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Ethiopian government has embarked on comprehensive reforms within the framework of our homegrown economic reform agenda. The Prime Minister's Ease of Doing Business initiative has also yielded tangible progress across more than 80 reform areas, including the revision of our investment laws and the regulations fostering a more stable and predictable investment climate. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this Invest in Ethiopia Forum is not taking place in isolation. In the lead up to today's event, we have convened 2 public-private dialogues aimed at strengthening aftercare efforts for existing investors. These sessions facilitated open and candid discussions on key issues such as taxation, customs, legal predictability, and contract enforcement. Today, I want to assure both existing and prospective investors that we are committed to elevating this dialogue to the highest level and will actively follow on commitments and mutual understandings reached during those early sessions. The public-private dialogue is in many ways a strategic continuation of Ethiopia's second business climate reform agenda. The ongoing sectoral liberalization undertaken by the government has enhanced Ethiopia's openness to foreign investment. Notably, the opening up of sectors such as finance, telecom, and the trading sector, sectors which were largely reserved for the government or domestic investors, are now open for foreign direct investment. The foreign exchange regime, which for a long has been a formidable challenge for investors, has now been decisively addressed through the government's commitment to a market-based exchange rate. Therefore, should you choose to invest in Ethiopia, whether through joint ventures with domestic partners, wholly owned enterprises, or through public-private partnerships, the Ethiopian Investment Commission stands ready to provide seamless and end-to-end service through our enhanced one-stop service arrangement. We are also committed to supporting you with immigration matters, banking issues, and the creation of valuable market linkage with domestic investors.
Let me begin by extending my deepest gratitude to the government of Ethiopia for its ongoing commitment to creating an enabling environment for both local and international businesses. Under the leadership of His Excellency, the Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed and his team, Ethiopia is moving beyond its rich history, setting the stage to become a key player in the global economy. As the CEO of Safaricom Ethiopia, I stand before you today as a firm believer in Ethiopia's vast, untapped economic potential. When Ethiopia took the historic step to liberalize its telecom sector a few years ago, Safaricom became the largest direct foreign investor in the country, and we still are, an investment that now exceeds more than $2.5 billion US. $1 billion went into the payment of the telecom and financial services operating licenses, and so far we have invested $1.5 billion in building new state-of-the-art telecom infrastructure. Our shareholders' decision to invest in Ethiopia was more than just a financial decision. It was a resounding vote of confidence in Ethiopia's future, a future that is taking shape through sector liberalization and business-friendly, pro-competition regulatory reforms with the aim to create a level playing field. Safaricom's entry into Ethiopia symbolizes the very ambition of this government to create a business environment where the private sector, in collaboration with the already well-established state-owned enterprises, can thrive, investments can flourish, and everybody can benefit. Opening up the economy is not a zero-sum game. It's about growing the cake, growing the overall economy, so that everybody can benefit. New investors, as well as already existing companies. As part of Ethiopia's reform agenda, the liberalization of the telecom sector has been a landmark achievement. Through efforts such as the regulatory reforms implemented by the Ethiopia Communications Authority and the National Bank of Ethiopia, Ethiopia has demonstrated not just its readiness for competition, but its eagerness to shape a dynamic, inclusive market. The government's forward-thinking actions have set the stage for Ethiopia to become a regional hub of innovation and opportunity. The vision embodied in Digital Ethiopia 2025 aligns perfectly with our own goals as a company committed to future-proofing Ethiopia's digital infrastructure. Today, 4 years after we acquired our operating licenses, we are already witnessing the fruits of our investments. We have built more than 3,000 telecom towers throughout the entire country, and we are already covering more than 50% of the 130 million people living in Ethiopia with fast 4G broadband mobile internet services. Only 2.5 years after our commercial launch, we now have almost 10 million active customers. Our mobile financial service, M-Pesa, also continues to grow, serving more than 2 million users, processing 16 billion birr in transaction value. These achievements are not just milestones for Safaricom. They are milestones for Ethiopia's future. None of this would have been possible without the unwavering support of the government and its institutions.
This event has been made possible to the high level of interest and commitment from all parties. From the government, there has been a readiness to engage with private sector stakeholders in public-private dialogue ahead of the forum, and a commitment to concrete follow-up to address private sector concerns. From the private sector, we have seen strong interest in investing in and supporting the growth of Ethiopia's economy. From development partners, There has been consistent and diverse support over many years to build an enabling environment that fosters private sector investment and economic growth. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the government of Ethiopia's leadership, Ethiopia has embarked on an ambitious macroeconomic reform path with the support of the international development community. As you will hear during the forum, under the visionary leadership of His Excellencies, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the government has implemented economic reform to address structural problems, including debt, inflation, and unemployment. The reform measures target foreign exchange distortion, inflation control, and revenue mobilization. Altogether, they aim to improve the business climate and grow the economy. The early results of those reforms are clear. Ethiopia is emerging as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We are witnessing remarkable progress. After years of economic shocks, Ethiopia has achieved macroeconomic stability, with growth now on a steady upward trajectory, inflation under control, and export performance strengthening. The private sector has contributed to increase tax revenue, and their innovation and determination are helping drive development. Development in the agriculture, tourism, mining, and digital sectors signal the early success of the reforms. With an average GDP growth rate of 7.1% from 2019 to 2023, and foreign direct investment reaching $3.9 billion in 2024, Ethiopia is positioning itself as a promising investment destination.
Development partners' support to Ethiopia doesn't stop with the reforms supported by the World Bank and IMF. There are many examples of DPG engagement in support of private sector development. Let me share a few. In the agricultural sector, Ethiopia and the Netherlands are building a cooling center together to expand fruit and vegetable exports, and Austria is helping companies invest in coffee cultivation. The IFC Multi-Donor Trust Fund, along with Sweden, Netherlands, Norway, Italy, Canada, the US, the UK, and the Gates Foundation, support investment climate reforms, which have generated $800 million in investment and the creation of 8,000 jobs. The World Bank has supported Ethiopia's efforts to accede to the World Trade Organization and also supported the launch of the Ethiopian Securities Exchange by financing its trading platform and providing technical assistance. For small and medium-sized businesses, the UNDP is building an innovative finance lab. Korea is helping the dairy industry strengthen its value chains and is supporting the leather sector to compete on the global market. In the service sector, Canada, along with Ethiopian banks, has more than doubled the number of women-owned businesses able to access finance thanks to innovative psychometric assessments. And Dutch and British development banks are supporting Dashen Bank to increase lending for investments in the agricultural sector. In the energy sector, thanks to the support of Denmark, 100 megawatts of wind turbines will start producing power this week, generating electricity for over 100,000 households. In manufacturing, Germany has helped improve working conditions in industrial parks, particularly for women, by supporting grievance mechanisms, workers' cafes, and training. And the United Kingdom has mobilized more than $300 million and created almost 10,000 jobs through private sector support over the last few years. These are just a few examples of how development partners are committed to helping Ethiopia grow its private sector. In so many ways, Ethiopia is ready for business. The country has many advantages as an investment hub. It is centrally located within the Horn of Africa, with 54 million hectares of potentially arable land. With its high precipitation volumes and as home to the headwaters of 10 large rivers, it is Africa's water tower. It is becoming a green economy, generating more than 90% of its electricity from hydro. It boasts of competitive wages, cheap energy, and inexpensive industrial land, all of which can spur investment. It has a track record of marked success in the coffee, in the garment manufacturing, and in the floricultural sectors. And finally, we're seeing exciting new opportunities unleashed by the homegrown economic reforms. We are here today as development partners to say that we are committed to working with the government of Ethiopia and with the private sector to unlock the full potential of this beautiful country. In closing, allow us to welcome you all again to this important event. We encourage each of you to address the challenges and opportunities before us head-on. Let us move forward together in a spirit of dialogue and collaboration to build trust in an inclusive and prosperous Ethiopia.
Ladies and gentlemen, as of 2024, with an estimated population of close to 130 million, Ethiopia is the 10th most populous country in the world. In the same year, Ethiopia is ranked among the 10 fastest growing countries globally. With a median age of 19 years, Ethiopia is an ancient country with a very young population. Ethiopia's demography and economic track record makes it a very attractive destination for investment. But there is more to the story. In the past few years, there has been a major shift in policy perspective. For the last 50 years, successive Ethiopian governments have exhibited an aversion towards the private sector to varying degrees. The ideological legacy of the 1974 revolution on our policy outlook was very profound. For decades, private enterprise and investment in general were severely restricted and discouraged. Even after the restrictions on domestic investors were lifted, for several decades, restrictions on foreign direct investment persisted in many sectors. The overall regulatory, legislative, and policy framework in Ethiopia made foreign direct investment a very difficult undertaking. Right now, there is a major paradigm shift. Today, Ethiopia welcomes and encourages foreign direct investment as a critical pillar necessary to realize our aspiration of shared prosperity for all Ethiopians. We are convinced that the capital, technology, and skills we need to actualize our full development potential requires the active participation of foreign investors. Based on this conviction, and drawing lessons from the transformative journey of Asian success stories, the Ethiopian government has implemented several reform measures. The comprehensive reform program we have launched makes Ethiopia a very attractive investment destination. The policy measures complement the substantial infrastructure and energy investment we have made in the past few decades. Ethiopia offers clean, renewable energy at a very affordable price, making it an ideal destination for energy-intensive and climate-friendly investments. Ethiopia is truly the last major frontier for investment. One would be hard-pressed to name any country with the size, potential, and promise of the Ethiopian economy that has yet to integrate into the global market. Ethiopia's economy is bound to be the hottest ticket among discerning investors for decades to come. Those who hitch their wagon to this powerful locomotive early on will reap rich rewards. As a government, we have the commitment and the right policies in place to foster growth and prosperity. While there are still some challenges, we have the necessary resolve to tackle them. Therefore, I would like to invite those with an eye for rich rewards and worthy endeavors to come and invest in Ethiopia.
It is my distinct pleasure and a privilege to warmly welcome you to this Invest in Ethiopia High-Level Business Forum 2025. This flagship annual event is co-hosted by the Ministry of Finance, the Ethiopian Investment Commission, and the Development Partners Group. It is an important platform for advancing Ethiopia's strategic commitment to private sector-led growth and investment. This forum is more than a convening. It is a declaration of our intent to position Ethiopia as a premier investment destination, offering compelling opportunities, fostering strategic partnerships, and rebranding our investment landscape for the future. By bringing together global business leaders, investors, and policymakers, this forum serves as a dynamic space for exchanging ideas, forging partnerships, and crafting solutions that unlock investment across key sectors of our economy. Ethiopia's economy has grown by over 8% in each of the past two fiscal years. Government revenue are rising, exports are surging, and foreign exchange reserve has more than doubled. Inflation is on a downward trend since the launch of the latest phase of reforms in July last year. Investment, both foreign and domestic, is increasing across critical sectors. Our liberalization of key industries, such as telecommunications, logistics, energy, and more recently banking, retail, and wholesale, has deepened investor confidence and reaffirmed our commitment to an open and dynamic economy. The logistics sector reform is a hallmark of our broader economic transformation as well. Our commitment to private sector development remains resolute. We continue to improve transparency, cut red tape, and strengthen legal and regulatory frameworks. Ethiopia offers attractive investment incentives, including tax holidays, duty-free privileges, and export incentives aligned with national priorities and geographic zones. We are enhancing a one-stop shop services through digital platforms to make investing in Ethiopia faster and easier. We are also actively mobilizing capital through diverse investment modalities, including joint ventures, public-private partnerships, equity investment, blended finance, and impact investing, particularly in infrastructure and priority growth areas. Ethiopia is more open for business than ever. Our vision is clear, our potential is vast, and our trajectory is promising. The fundamental objective of a comprehensive macroeconomic reform we are embarking on is to create a favorable environment so that domestic businesses flourish as well as we attract significant foreign direct investment. I urge you as our global business partners to seize this moment, to join us, to invest in Ethiopia, to help shape a future of shared prosperity. In closing, I express sincere appreciation to our development partners who are supporting us not only on macroeconomic reform, but on development, not only human development, expansion of services, infrastructure development. Our development partners are with us both in bad and good times and supporting the growth and development of Ethiopia, supporting the people of Ethiopia, as well as also increasingly now we have more private sector focused development partners interventions that will enable significant private sector development in Ethiopia. So our development partners are also supporting us on these significant areas. So private sectors, leaders and dedicated teams from the Ministry of Finance and Ethiopian Investment Commission and all supporting institutions has participated in the preparation of this high-level forum. And I would like to thank all the different relevant institutions, both from the Ministry of Finance, from Investment Commission, from development partners groups, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other institutions as well. Your contributions have made this forum a resounding success. I wish you all fruitful deliberations, and I extend a warm welcome to our international guests. May your time in Addis Ababa be both productive and inspiring. It is now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency Ambassador Taye Asqaselase, the President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, and our guest of honor to come to the podium, bless the occasion.
We gather today not just to examine and celebrate Ethiopia's immense potential, but to chart out a bold and practical path, one that is built on partnership, innovation, and shared prosperity. I'm happy to note that it has now become part of our national endeavor to build a tradition of continuous deliberation and useful proceedings by launching high-level investor forum such as this one in order to ensure policies evolve with the needs of investors and their critical inputs. glad also to hear the points raised by the previous keynote speakers, and it glaringly shows the interest this forum has garnered and attracted. Ethiopia has undertaken transformative economic reforms devised to sustain growth, attract foreign direct investment, and drive structural transformation. We believe we are on the right track to ensure macro-financial stability, assuage or ease regulatory barriers that hinder economic performance, opened key economic sectors, particularly in finance, banking, telecom, and more to foreign investment. These reforms are more than policy shifts. They have indeed paved a way to fundamentally reimagine Ethiopia's economic future. Distinguished participants, Ethiopia is Africa's second most populous nation. It is a dynamic market of 130 million people, a growth engine surpassing the sub-Saharan average and working diligently to be an entry point to global markets. While realizing our vision of becoming one of the top African economies by 2030, it is imperative to fully recognize that foreign direct investment is not given. It is rather earned through unyielding leadership and executions. In light of this, we have focused on three fundamental requisites to best garner opportunities in foreign direct investment. These are, first, a progressive regulatory framework that helps us move from a restrictive system to an open one, including reform, as mentioned earlier, in foreign exchange, and an investor-friendly regime that protects investment. Second, we are committed to put in place an infrastructure that fulfills the global value chain compliance. Accordingly, special economic zones and industrial parks offer cutting-edge facilities. Moreover, our ready-to-use factories are strategically selected to serve domestic and export markets. We have enhanced tax incentives while also amending national laws on land use to best promote priority sectors like agro-processing, information communication, technology, and manufacturing. Third, we ensure seamless connectivity via railway, road, and air services, with Ethiopian Airlines linking us to more than 130 global destinations, offering investors and traders a competitive edge with ease of connectivity with Europe, Asia, Middle East, and Northern South America. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia's commitment to development is also intertwined with regional and continental aspirations. A case in point is the African Continental Free Trade Area. It has given us a unique opportunity to reshape Africa's economic landscape. For Ethiopia, attracting foreign direct investment isn't just about capital. It is about the free movement of goods and commodities across our borders, providing investors to best tap the dividends of this free trade area. With this, Africa will not longer be a recipient of global trade. It will be an aspiring participant in global value chains. As we have witnessed, the success of foreign investors in many developed countries pretty much relied on three key factors as well. These are technology transfer, knowledge spillovers, and market linkage. Therefore, it is important to realize that integrating Ethiopia's small and medium-scale enterprises into regional and global supply chains by rendering technology transfer, knowledge spillovers, and marketing linkage are indeed critical. This will help investors to ensure long-term and sustainable investment. By embracing these opportunities, ladies and gentlemen, investors are not just injecting capital into our country. They are also anchoring themselves at the very heart of a thriving economy. I would say this is not a mere short-term growth perspective. It is about cultivating intergenerational equity, building wealth that endures and grows for decades to come. Ladies and gentlemen, I trust this forum will not only showcase the opportunities that Ethiopia offers, but it is a platform for an open conversation and honest dialogue. We also want to hear your genuine feedbacks, your true concerns, and perspectives and partnership in shaping an even stronger investment environment. Share not only your best practice, but better practices as well. We know best practice means the ideal, the perfect routines are already in place. Maybe it is static and done. It's already a charted territory. However, the exigency is to share better practices and brainstorm on how to make it suitable with Ethiopia's reality. This leaves a space for constant improvement. So let us live here today with renewed commitments and shared conviction that Ethiopia is not just a destination for investment, but a home for a long-term partnership, friendship, and shared values.